How to avoid metal rubbing sound from your disc assembly. Before starting the video, let me make sure one thing. Frequently removing the brake assembly without proper greasing or locking glue is not recommended. And this video is for emergency cases. For clearing this issue, we have to remove the brake pads. So for removing the brake pad, you have to remove that nut which is shown in that image. You can use an 5mm Allen key. In my case, I am using the same Allen key I got from the bike, and I am just using it like that. So it is not recommended, or please don't use any pliers on this particular nut because the thread will be affected. If you want any leverage, you can use the same Allen key which as shown in this video for your leverage, and you can just pull it out like that. Before starting the procedure, make sure that your bike is in first gear, and if you have a center stand, consider putting it in a center stand for safety purposes. So you can see that once I removed that nut, brake pad is already sliding out, or you can just pull it out. If it is tight, just press it against the cylinders. So you can see my brake pads. It is not all dirty because I cleaned it already a little ago. And so while you're cleaning, you can use any brushes you have. Our motive is to remove the dirt from that grooves. You can just sand it down. If you are using an organic brake pad, you can just sand a little bit using a sandpaper. Since I am using a ceramic brake pad, I am not sanding, because for both ceramic and organic brake pads, if you are sanding down, it will take a couple of rides to regain that sensitivity. Initially, that sensitivity will be lower than your usual braking sensitivity. So now, since I have completed cleaning my brake pads, I am trying to assemble the brake pads back. So now you have to consider two things while assembling. First one is the tailing edge should be seated properly. For seating the trailing edge, you can see there is a groove provided. So that groove should be seated properly in the caliper slot. So I'm just showing in the video later how to check that whether it is properly seated or not. So as I told you earlier in this video, it is not good practice to remove this assembly frequently because of the availability of this grease and nut locking glue, everything. So what I am trying to do is, I'm just trying to find a better solution for this, and I got an idea of having a spring between those brake pads. So the idea is to completely disengage the brake pads while brake is in an idle condition. So here you can see how to check whether the brake pad is completely seated or not. So this is the groove which I am talking about, and now the brake pad is completely seated. So this is how you have to check it out. You have to check and confirm before tightening the nut. So if it is not properly seated, probably you won't be able to tighten the nut, and even if you are tightening, there will be a lot of play in the brake pads. You can just observe it. So this is the final look of our modification. As you can see, the spring is in action, and it is making a little bit gap between the disc brake and the braking pads. So after this installation, the rubbing sound is completely arrested. So if you find this video informative and interesting, subscribe and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.